Derek Lunsford competed 3 times at the Mr. Olympia event in the men's open. He placed second, then he placed first, and then third. That's 1, 2, and 3. So to figure out his average, you don't really need to get the calculator out. His average would be second place. That's pretty darn good. Now for today's video, we are going to figure out which Mr. Olympia champion had the absolute worst average placing at the Olympia event. And you can be sure that it will not be Hattie Shupin. Hattie has a fantastic average. His first ever Olympia, 2019, he took third, and he was always consistent, placing in the top 3. And just last year, he placed second. And furthermore, him, Derek, and Samson Dauda, they're all still competing. So you can't really count their average just yet until they retire. Now, guys like Larry Scott, the very first ever Olympia champion, I mean, his average does not take a genius to figure out. He competed twice, he won twice. So he has an average placing of first. So does Arnold Schwarzenegger, considering he competed 8 times. He won 7, placed second once, and ditto with Dorian Yates. So guys like this, Lee Haney as well, they have fantastic average placings. All would be first, I can imagine. So for this video, we will be looking for Mr. Olympia champions that maybe didn't start so very well. Like Jay Cutler. Now, I know he placed very low when he first started, and that will definitely bump his average down. You can see 1999, he got 15th place, he got 8th, and then pretty good placings from there. And that actually leaves him with an average placing of 3rd, which is extremely good. But keep in mind, guys, these are all Olympia champions we're dealing with. But I believe if we look hard enough with the rich history of the Olympia title, we can find somebody with an even lower average placing than 3rd. What about Rhoden? May he rest in peace. But I know for a fact he placed pretty low his first Olympia. And you can see back in 2011, he got 11th. But you know what? Right after that, he started to place pretty good. He got 3rd. Then 4th, then 3rd, then 3rd. And then in 2016, this might surprise some of you folks. Surprised Dennis James at the Olympia. That was his first and only ever 2nd place at the Olympia. I'm sure a lot of people think, oh, Shawn Rhoden, sure, the guy that placed 2nd at the Olympia a bunch of times. Just the once. Just the once. So when you add up 11, 3, 4, 3, 3, 2... 5 and 1 divided by 8, you get exactly 4. So Shawn Rhoden's average Mr. Olympia placing is 4th. And as this video is going on, that's the worst. That is the lowest average placing of any Mr. Olympia champion. But then as we go down the pike, we see Big Ramy, Momdals Bae, and do the math here, and he gets a 4.3. That's a little bit worse than Shawn Rhoden's. Don't kid yourself. They both have a 4th place average. But I mean, if you're going to split hairs, Big Ramy has the worst average placing of any Mr. Olympia champion? No, not even close. Now bring on the next Mr. Olympia champion. And it just so happens to be Ronnie the King Coleman. And you can see, guys, gals, everybody in between, he got some pretty low placings early on. 16th there, his first placing. 15th, 11th, climbed his way back. You notice he never got 10th, ever, along the way. 11th and 9th. Interesting. But when you do the math, and keep in mind, he competed a lot more, and that can affect your average placing for sure. He ends up with a 4.7, or a 5th place average. Are you kidding me? The greatest of all time, the best of all time, has a 5th place average at the Mr. Olympia event? That just boggles the mind. Surely, there is a lower average placing than Ronnie the King Coleman. What about the Blade? Dexter the Blade Jackson. That guy competed 21 Olympia events. Nah, that's gonna take a while, so I don't think I'm gonna write all that down.
But Mark's Max Muscle, it is your job. Write it down for us.
All right, this is from 1999. I just wrote 99, save time. And he got ninth. He got ninth in 2000, eighth, and then fourth. And he got some pretty good placings from here on in for years and years and years. So he ends up with a 4.8. Okay, so Ronnie, the King Coleman, he is safe. He does not have the lowest average placing. Dexter the Blade Jackson does? Question mark? No. We are forgetting about Brandon Curry. Because if I am not mistaken, yes, he had quite a few years at the beginning of his career. It's funny, he placed 8th, his first Olympia. And then a drought. Look at that. 16th, 3 times. And then, boom, with an 8th in 2017. Brandon Curry, 2016 versus 2017. Be a good comparison for one of you channels, Jake's Ultimate Fitness, to do. And then, he won the title. And then his last year, he got 9th. So I believe that is going to bring his average down the lowest that we've seen so far. And as you can see, old Mark's Max Muscle, he rounds up at 0.5 because that's what you're supposed to do, I think. So he gets 7.5, which is an 8th place average. And is that the worst? Oh my goodness, who is that? That's Samir Banu. He comes floating in because he wants to take the title. He wants to be the lowest average, the worst average placing he wants to have. Well, let's check the resume. 1980, you can see, his first year, competed all the way to 94.
That's crazy.
Didn't think he competed that late. Got a few low placings there. He won, otherwise he wouldn't be on the list. And then he never really placed good after that. But man, oh man, 91, 92, and 94, they continued to judge them up until 18th place, I think. Probably should have got 19th then. But anyway. Divided in easier when I put him at 18th. But he ends up with an average placing of 10th. That is by far the lowest average placing of any Mr. Olympia champion. And the funny thing is, no Olympia champion that went on to win the title ever placed 10th. I even did a video about that. I find that very strange. Coleman placed 9th, 11th. They've danced around 10th place. And then Samir ends up with an average placing of 10th. Very interesting. Now, I'd like to finish off this video. First of all, thank you very much for tuning in, watching it right to the very end. I find these little factoids very interesting, but I'd like to end it with another couple little factoids. Sergio Oliva has a 3.3 average placing, which is 3rd, obviously. That's pretty darn good. And Franco Colombo, a 2.1. Wow. That's one of the best. And keep in mind, if we were counting all of his lightweight wins, they were all first. He'd probably have a first place average, but of course he lost the overall to Arnold all the time. And Frank Zane, food for thought, he just loses out to Franco Colombo by a couple of points there. So Frank Zane ends up with a 2nd place average, which is very good. It's actually quite good indeed. So Samir Banu. You can see Frank in the background there. He's jealous. I wanted to have the lowest placing. Average. No, you don't, Frank. Samir Banu. He wanted it. And you know what? This shows that he loved bodybuilding more than anyone. Sure, he was the Olympia champion. Sure, he knew he wasn't going to win. But he still continued to compete. And I guarantee he loved it. And he had a great time. Maybe ate some pizza, some cookies with the boys. Huh? Pizza and cookies with the boys? Be good fun. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Hit thumbs up if you did. If you didn't, well, try to give the old thumbs up a little button touch there anyway. Have a great one.